Hello, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Lauren.
And this is I've Got Guts, a podcast about living and thriving with chronic illness.
And all the things that take guts to say out loud.
We're here to talk about the hard stuff, the stuff that's messy, complicated, and often left unsaid.
From chronic illness to everyday life, we're creating space for honest conversations, real connection, and a lot of laughs along the way.
And just so we're clear, we are not medical professionals. We're just two best friends sharing what we've learned and what we're still figuring out.
So you don't have to do it alone.
Welcome back, everyone.
Yes, welcome back and happy Monday.
It feels like we haven't been in this format in so long. I'm like, what comes next?
I know, it's been a while. Well, after we say welcome back, we usually talk about the weather.
We usually do talk about the weather,
but you know what? The weather hasn't been that exciting lately.
I have barely been outside.
I know.
So.
Today I'm like, room, it's like 80 today. You're like, yeah, I haven't been out there.
No idea.
I'm like sweating. But then I got home and geared up for a run. It's like a beautiful all day. And then I gear up for a run. I get out there, winds whipping, a dark clouds rolling in.
You're right. God forbid it works out in your favor.
But I did run really fast.
Good. The storm was literally chasing you.
It really was. Anytime there's thunder and lightning on the horizon, I can run fast. It's like I was on fire, but not. All right. Well, let's get into our thorns and roses.
All right.
I feel like I see in your eyes your thorn.
My thorn is that chemo is making me so tired. Like, I was eyes closed, passed out by 10:15 last night, and I slept until 11 o'clock this morning.
Ooh, straight?
Straight. And then I was awake for 2 hours, and it felt like I had run a marathon, so I had to go back to bed to take a nap.
Okay, you are truly in your nap era. And you are wearing the most badass, like, gangster sleep cap. What is this? I roll in and I'm like,
baby pink silk lined sleep cap.
You look adorable. You look like a gangster. And I love that it's lined with silk. Like, this is your nap era with your cozy sleep cap.
It is, except it's just literally like, it's like tired. It's my whole body. It feels like heavy and just, I guess if this is the worst side effect I'm going to get, then I'll take it. But, my gosh, it's killing me.
It is crazy. That is crazy. But even though you look tired, you still look great.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm doing my best over here.
You really are. I'm proud of you, Rem.
Proud of you.
Well, my thorn is I had to plunge a toilet today. I'm sure you guys really miss this. My thorn is I had to plunge a toilet today, not for myself, but for my son, who is just having some bowel movement issues.
He really just wants to keep the plumbing business.
Oh my God. It's just, and I just trying to figure out what's going on here, with his stomach and his bathroom situation. And it's just, I don't want to shame him. Like, I don't want to be annoyed that I have to plunge yet again, but like, I'm starting to lose my plunging patience.
I think I shared with you privately, but I'll share this with the whole world right now. When I was a kid, I had big poops too, and my parents had to take plastic silverware and cut it. So, there is that. So
I'm crying, laughing.
At least you're not at that stage yet. You're just at the plunging stage.
Room, the day I look at Sean and pass him plastic silverware to cut up Connor's poop, I don't know. Oh my gosh, that is really funny. But you know what? Also, I could see being very efficient.
Was efficient.
And did it help go down?
Yep.
You know what? Honestly, I might recommend this to Sean.
Sean.
Stay tuned on how this goes. Babe, you're going to cut it up first. Then we'll use the plunger as a backup.
I think you should record this and make a YouTube short about it because I'm pretty sure Sean's anger in that moment would be worth watching.
I feel like I'm crying just thinking about it, laughing. Oh my gosh. Well, hey, that's a great strategy, and I may apply it this coming week because this poor kid, he poops once a day, but for whatever reason, he has massive shits.
Yeah, he's probably just not going when he originally feels the need to go.
And I think he wasn't totally being honest with me when I was trying to unpack that, even though he does go daily, So gonna just kind of work out that whole situation and maybe throw in a plastic
silver
knife. Oh my gosh, that's too funny. All right, roses.
Wow, I don't really have a lot to work with here this week. I guess, if anything, we've been watching some good new shows.
Ooh, okay, what have you been watching?
There's a show on Apple TV called Imperfect Women, and it's got, what's her face? Kerry Washington in it from Scandal, and I will never be able to think of the actress's name, but the one from Handmaid's Tale's in it. Okay. And it's about like these girls who've been friends since college, but then like there's a suspicious thing that happens. Ooh. And then how everybody's lives intertwine and not everybody knew about everything. It's so good.
Ooh, that sounds really good.
It's very good. So we were watching that, and then we're watching Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV too with John Hamm.
Oh, nice. How's that?
It's really cute. I like it. So at least I'm watching some good shows.
Yeah. Now, have you guys watched Night Agent?
Oh, yeah. We binged that.
Okay, because it just came back, the new episode, the new season.
We binged it. We love Night Agent.
So I'm usually only a one-nighter. Like, I can only do one a night because I end up falling asleep. But it's so good. And I think he's so handsome. Who's the main character?
I don't know. He reminds me of somebody. I can't think of who he reminds me of. You don't really take him for like the tough guy kind, though.
Yeah.
He does it well, though.
He does it well. Yes. That's true. That's true. That's good.
Yeah. Well, what about you? I mean, I hope you got more going for you than TV shows.
Well, I feel like my rose is that so I just mapped out my new training schedule for the race that I'm going to do, and I'm all jazzed up about it. Mm-hmm. So I am going to do a half marathon, I think, in the fall, but I did something.
What'd you do?
I accidentally registered for the Boilermaker.
Accidentally.
In July, even though I said I don't want to train for something in the spring, like when I'm in school. But our friend Amy is going to be doing it. Mm-hmm. One of my hockey mom friends, Chelsea, is doing it as well. So the three of us are going, and it was a sign. I just happened to score the last hotel room in Utica that weekend. Oh. And I felt like that was a sign. I'm like, if there's nowhere for us to stay because I registered too late, then, maybe we'll just go. We can definitely easily go to Utica and back in a day. Like, we don't need to stay overnight, but it's way more fun to stay overnight. So booked the hotel and mapping out my race. And so the Boilermaker is 9 miles, and it's like the best race ever. The course is extremely hilly, but every mile they have like these amazing spectators. They have like a band, like a marching band, like a DJ. They have ice pops they hand out and orange slices. But every mile you have something to look forward to. You don't know what you're going to get. It's always people dressed up in costumes.
That would be the only way to get me to run, is to give me presents and intervals.
Yeah, it's just so fun. So you're just so busy and consumed with like what's going on around you. You forget how many miles you're doing.
Right.
The hills don't seem as bad, So, and I've ran this race like 6 or 7 times before, but I haven't ran it in years. So I'm really excited.
I'm excited for you, Rum.
And I went out for a baby mile today. So we're just getting back into it. I've been out of practice.
Baby mile, because we're getting chased by massive thunderstorms.
I know. This weather has been crazy. So crazy. All right. Well, let's get into our episode today. But before we jump into things, we want to remind everyone about our sponsor, Cozy Earth.
And I'll just say that right now, comfort isn't a luxury for me. It's something I truly need. Going through chemo, your body just feels off. You're more sensitive, more tired, and just trying to feel even a little bit comfortable makes such a difference. And having soft, cozy outfits to wear to treatment and breathable sheets that don't trap heat at night has honestly been really grounding for me.
Yes, and their bamboo sheets are incredibly soft, super breathable, and amazing for temperature regulation. We truly love them.
Especially if you're dealing with night sweats, trouble sleeping, or just want to feel a little more at ease in your body, they really do help.
Oh my gosh, just as I sweat through my pajamas last night and to the sheets. Sean thought I peed the bed, but I didn't. Good thing I had these sheets on. So you can try them risk-free with a 100-night sleep trial and a 10-year warranty. You can head to Cozy Earth and use code IGG for 21% off.
Your sleep and your comfort will thank you.
They sure will.
All right. So we're having an important conversation today.
I decided to title this when I was reflecting on it, the conversation that could save your life.
It really could.
It could.
So a few weeks ago, my life changed in a way that I never saw coming. And I heard the words that no one ever expects to hear. You have breast cancer. And in an instant, everything felt uncertain. Everything felt heavy and honestly really unfair. But there was no avoiding it. I had to face it head on.
And at the same time, I was sitting on information that I accidentally chose to ignore. A few months ago, I got a letter after my mammogram saying that because of my family history and having dense breast tissue, I was at higher risk for breast cancer and that I qualified for genetic testing and additional screening. And I threw it out. And I told myself I was fine. Like, I didn't want to go there. I didn't want to put my mind there. I didn't even think about it. And I literally didn't even think twice.
Yeah. And then we got more information about my diagnosis. And through genetic testing, we found out that my cancer is tied to a rare genetic mutation, one that most people don't even know to look for, and one that could impact not just me, but my family too.
It's so crazy to think about that. And just hearing that, everything shifted for me because suddenly this wasn't something far away. It wasn't something happening to other people. It was right here in my life with my best friend, my person, my room.
Yep, and that's exactly why we're having this conversation today, because as hard as this is, there is something bigger here.
Yes, this is about awareness, about being proactive, about not ignoring the signs or the information or the little nudges we get about our health.
This is about knowing your body, knowing your family history, and advocating for yourself.
Even when it feels scary.
So today we're going to share my story and what I've learned through genetic testing.
And I'm going to share how I went from avoiding it to finally making the call and getting tested myself.
Because if this conversation helps even one person make an appointment, ask a question, or catch something earlier, then it is worth it.
And if this conversation, this episode found you today, it just may be for a reason. Okay, Rome. So let's get into it. After you were diagnosed, they automatically set you up for an appointment with genetics, or did you choose to do that?
Honestly, it really wasn't presented as a choice. They told me I should do it, and that was all I needed to hear. I was like, okay, if there's even a chance that this gives us more information, I want to cover all of my bases.
Right, because why would you not, right?
Right, exactly. So there is a lot of cancer on my mom's side of the family, but none that was specifically tied to breast cancer. Because for those of you who don't know, my mom has a form of cancer called MGUS. Both of my grandparents had cancer. And then on my dad's side, there's a lot of unknowns. You know, we knew that his mom passed from lung cancer, but we don't know if it started in her lungs. And we really didn't know that much about his dad and his dad's side of the family. So a lot of blanks. And that right there was enough to make sense for us to dig a little bit deeper. So what they're mainly looking for when they send you to genetics are mutations in certain genes that can increase your risk for cancer, specifically things like BRCA1 and BRCA2.
I feel like that's what you hear most about. Like when you were getting tested, we were kind of thinking, you know, possibly that's what you had, right?
Yes. And just to explain that a little bit, BRCA1 and BRCA2 are genes that we all have, and their job is actually to help repair damaged DNA. So they're supposed to protect you from cancer, but when there's a mutation in one of those genes, they don't work the way they're supposed to, which can significantly increase your risk of developing certain cancers, especially breast and ovarian cancer.
Really? I guess I didn't realize that. This whole mutation piece.
Yes. And like BRCA1 is tied to like ovarian cancer. So a lot of times when people hear they have BRCA1, they not only considering have a double mastectomy, they consider also having their ovaries or their uterus taken out because
just to be proactive, right?
Yeah. So naturally, that's what we were looking for with me, thinking whatever. But my results came back negative for BRCA1 and BRCA2, and instead they found something else. I have a mutation in a gene called BARD1. So that's BARD1. And I think it's very specifically like our DNA is strands of pearls. We think of them, and it's specifically at 370G. I think that's the one.
Okay, it kind of sounds like a gangster name, 370G.
I know, but BARD1 is actually closely related to BRCA1, and they kind of work together in the body to help repair DNA. So what that means is this mutation could be a part of why I developed breast cancer. It's not as well known or heavily studied as BRCA1 or BRCA2, but it is associated with an increased risk of breast cancer. And in fact, when it does show up, it tends to show up as triple negative breast cancer in premenopausal women, which...
Oh, wait, hold on. That's not you.
Yep, exactly what I am. That's exactly what I have. And while the genetic counselor said enough isn't known about it right now, in 10 to 20 years, we could be treating this genetic mutation the same as BRCA1 or BRCA2.
Really? Huh. That's interesting.
So, and that's part that really hit me, because what does this mean for my family? Because genetic mutations don't just affect you, they can be passed down. So now it raises questions like, did I inherit it from my mom or my dad? Am I the first person with the mutation?
Right, because they may have, your body could have been the first body to mutate in this way.
Yes, I forget what it's called. There's a specific term for it. But like, is this something my brother carries? And then that, for me, that raises concerns about future children, future nieces and nephews, but about my cousin's children. Okay. So now it's not just about my diagnosis anymore. It's also about understanding the bigger picture for my family and making sure that we have the information we need moving forward.
Yeah, it's so smart. It's so smart. Knowledge is power, and I truly believe that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. And, listening to you share all this room, first of all, it still doesn't feel real. Don't you feel like we're in some weird-ass dream?
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, it's not real. But then I touch my head and I'm like, it is real.
But first, you have to remove your adorable sleep cap with your silk satin situation in the inside. Well, if I'm being honest, this whole experience has made me take a hard look at myself, too, because like I shared a few months ago, after my mammogram in January, I got a letter in the mail. And it said that because of my family history, because I have dense breast tissue, which you do too, right?
I do,
When you have dense breast tissue, I go for a mammogram and they do an ultrasound. I could be at higher risk for breast cancer, and that I qualified for specifically genetic testing and additional screenings like a breast MRI. It's like you qualified. It's like, it sounds so crazy, but it's true. It's all the things we're kind of checking. So... And I just remember opening it, reading it, and just brushing it off and obviously throwing it out. Yeah. And I didn't make the appointment. I didn't ask questions. I didn't tell myself, like, this is something I should look into. I told myself, I'm like, I'm fine. You know me and my mindset. I don't want to go there. I don't want to put it in my mind, because sometimes it feels easier not to know these things, right? Yeah. Than to face something that could potentially change your life. And then you got diagnosed, room, and everything shifted. And suddenly this wasn't something far away. It was something that isn't happening to other people. It's happening to you.
Yeah.
And I had this moment where I thought, like, what am I doing, Lauren? You're being an idiot. Like, I have information. I have access. I have the ability to be proactive, and I'm choosing not to be.
Yeah.
So I called the breast clinic and I made the appointment, and I got the testing done this week, and I will find out in 2 weeks.
Now, you got the genetic testing done.
Yes, I got the genetic testing
done. And you
done.
scheduled the MRI.
So the MRI I can't go and get until August, because I just had my mammogram in January, and you have to have X amount of months.
Yep.
So I got and it was a simple blood work. And I sat down with her, and I think we sat down with the same lady, because when I was telling her, she's like, what prompted you to come here? Yeah. Usually something prompts, and I shared about you. And then I feel like she was like, I know her, but didn't want to say. So when I think about just my family history, unlike you, we have breast cancer in my family room. And my grandma Hyde on my mom's side, she passed away from breast cancer at just 50 years old. Mm-hmm. She was so young. I mean, my mom literally lost her mother when she was in her early 20s. I was like 4 or 5, I think. Just so young. And that was the 80s, right? They didn't have the same information. They didn't have the same science, the resources that we have today. I mean, I look about what you're going through, what they're doing with how they, treat your cancer with the chemo, how they make it, all the things that you're having done. Science is incredible. We are so lucky. And because we have access now, we have knowledge, we have the ability to catch things earlier and to understand our risk and to make informed decisions. And I feel like ignoring it just doesn't protect us. It just delays us from taking care of ourselves. So for me, it's been a big shift. I went from like brushing it off to telling myself I'm fine to just going and getting it done. And I know I'm not the only one who does things like this or who just did something like this. I know there are so many people listening today who have gotten a letter or felt something or had a thought and just pushed it down because it is scary. But if there's anything this experience has taught me, it's that being proactive isn't fear-based. It's self-love. It's saying, I matter enough to know. I matter enough to check. I matter enough to take care of myself, even when it is uncomfortable. And I even encourage my mom and my aunt. I mean, their mother passed away so young,
I saw this in a support group the other day, and I think this is where a lot of people get caught up in this. If you're healthy and you're fine and you have nothing going on and you get this letter that says, go for this test, and this test comes back and says, yeah, you're positive, you have a big decision to make. And I think that's why a lot of people avoid it. Because for most people, when they see that they're BRCA positive, they make the decision to have a double mastectomy because why risk getting breast cancer?
Right.
And that's a really scary thing to think about. So I get it. I get the urge to be like, don't even want to put it in my frame of mind. Like, not even thinking about it.
That's why I threw it out. And that was the one thing I asked the genetic lady when I was there. I'm like, she goes through the whole thing. I'm like, she's like, any questions? I'm like, yeah. So like, what am I doing with this information when I get it? Like, what am I? And like you said, it just depends. She's like, if you do, let's say, have one of the genes, you do extra screenings more often. And then she said, it's not only that at the breast clinic that you're getting more screening, but your other doctors are informed as well. So other screenings, because breast cancer, like you said, it can be some of the genes.
Ovarian cancer.
Ovarian, other different types of cancers. I mean, my father has cancer. He has a form of lymphoma, so I have it on my dad's side. My dad has cancer, right? And then you have, on my mom's side. So it's that double whammy. So it's just, you're right. It's a hard thing to kind of wrap your mind around. And I believe like this is our path, right? And I truly believe things are here to teach us stuff, right?
Yeah.
And we're always learning. So when we look at these moments, right, that we're in, it's helping me to make more informed decisions about my own health. And right now I'm hoping this conversation helps listeners out there listening, right? And your story, people who are close to you, people who know you, people who love you. Take care, use you as inspiration to take care of themselves and take precaution.
Because I will tell everyone, I never thought I would hear those words about myself in my entire life. Like never.
Yes.
Ever. Never did I think I would hear the words, you have cancer.
I know.
But I do.
Right.
So like it happens,
And I know. And I think, don't you feel like because both of us just having chronic illness, like that's just who you are. That's almost like, right? That's just part of you. I mean, we started this podcast because of it. So you have chronic disease, but that's who you are. Like you never, like you said, would think this would enter the picture.
Yeah.
And decide to lock
I thought I was dealing with enough, but apparently.
Let's just throw one more thing in there. Jesus.
All right. So do self-breast exams. And I can't promote this one enough because for those of you who don't know, that is how my lump was found. And when I tell you it went from 0 to 100, like overnight, it went from 0 to 100 overnight. So like, don't be afraid to do the full exam. Like put your arm up behind your head because my lump is almost all the way up in my armpit. Like make sure you're feeling your armpit, your whole breast, all the way around. And don't be ashamed to do it every shower. Like there's no shame. What? You're feeling yourself up in the shower. Who cares?
Right.
It could save your life.
You got to wash your titties anyway. Might as well get in there and
exactly
look around.
All right. Schedule yearly mammograms. I cannot stress this one enough either, especially once you hit that age of 40. I just had a mammogram, a perfectly clear mammogram in July, and now cancer in March.
Right.
It matters.
It matters. I wonder when it started like growing.
I know.
Right?
Yeah. I will always wonder that.
This tricky little guy in there.
Ask about dense breast tissue. Don't be afraid. I don't think it was until my second yearly mammogram that they told me that was a thing for me.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
So my mom has dense breast tissue. And also I started getting mammograms when I was 35 because of grandma.
Yeah.
So if you do have, I don't know how close it has to be within your family with breast cancer, but if you do have somebody in your family, you may be eligible. And I've been going since I was 35 and insurance covers it. So you may be eligible too. So, definitely
in your family. And don't be afraid of the mammogram. Everybody makes it out to be scarier than it is.
I mean, it's really they're getting in there and giving them a good old squishing, but it's not.
It lasts for seconds. It's
right. It's super fast. It is super fast. Oh, and with the dense breast tissue, I wonder why for you said the first mammogram, they didn't say anything to you about it. You didn't have an ultrasound, but the second one, it did. I wonder if over time, as we age,
they get denser,
they get more
probably
dense. I don't know. It was just an interesting thought I had.
Talk to your doctor about family history if that's something you're concerned about. If you maybe don't know about your family history, I'm sure that would qualify you for genetic testing as well. And if genetic testing is available to you, do it. It can't hurt.
I know, it really can't. I mean, there's just so much information you can get and just have to be proactive because we literally get one body. Literally. We must take care of this body.
Yes. And in closing, I didn't ask for this chapter, but we are choosing to use it to share, to educate, and to hopefully help someone else catch something earlier.
Or maybe make a decision that they've been putting off. So, I'm going to end with a quote.
We haven't done this in a while.
I haven't done this in a while, but I got to tell you, it was like I did a mixtape quote.
Oh, okay.
I did a little bit of something that Oprah says, and I kind of put my own spin on it because I feel like I've been doing a lot of journaling lately. Like, I'm a big journaler, but I've been journaling a lot. And I just feel like, when you're just saying certain quotes over the years, I feel like I'm just
making it your own.
Making them my own in my own way. Okay, so this is something I wrote in my journal, I don't know, a couple of days ago. Just thinking about this episode and just thinking about how important it is to take care of ourselves, from just basic self-care to doing things like we talked about today and screening yourself and taking care of yourself. But so self-care isn't something we wait to do when everything falls apart. It's something we choose every single day, because at the end of the day, you can't pour from an empty cup. You don't have anything to give that you don't have. So take care of your body, check in, advocate, and listen, because you only get
one
body.
I like it, Rome. Good one.
Well, thank you. It was like a mix of Oprah, Wiki, and a few other things.
Lauren remix. All right, before we say goodbye, we need to talk about our sponsor, Cozy Earth. If you are ready to upgrade your sleep, your space, and your everyday comfort, head to cozyearth.com and use our code IGG at checkout for the best discount you can find out there.
And are you loving the podcast? The best way to show is by leaving a 5-star rating and a few kind words. It helps to keep us growing and reaching others who need to hear they're not alone.
And be sure to join our email list. The link to sign up is in the show notes or in our bio on any of our social media platforms. Being a part of our email list
is the best way to stay up to date on new episodes, special guests, recipes, book recs, and so much more. We're going to laugh our way out of this episode today. You can also connect with us anytime on Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, or Facebook. Just search I've Got Guts Podcast or email us directly at I'veGotGutsPodcast@gmail.com.
Thank you so much for being here and for being part of this community. We're so grateful for you.
Keep going.
Keep growing.
And always remember, you've got guts.